Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Raka Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And Lord willing, this lesson will be pretty brief, but just wanted to speak on this real quick, right? Because it was when I saw this, I was just like, man, it just goes to show why the Lord has to bring that ruthless judgment upon this place, man, because it won't stop, right, unless the Lord actually brings judgment and destruction upon this place. And that's why in Isaiah, I believe it's the first chapter, it says, why should he be stricken anymore? Ye will revolt the more and more. So pretty much we're at the point now where I saw this, and so I looked this up, and it says here, NLE Choppa, right, which I'm sure people are familiar with him. If you're not, this is what he looks like. All right, this guy right here. So it says here, NLE Choppa shoots his shot at Adam 22's wife, gets denied. And so, just as you can see, right, it says NLE Choppa made a bold move last night. Now, what I actually saw was the actual screenshots, right, of the DMs. Of course, in this article, they don't put the actual, NLE Choppa himself, his actual page on here, but it's basically mimicking what he said. And, when you look it up, you'll see that that's actually what he did. But anyway, so it says here, he made a bold move last night, sliding into Adam 22's Instagram DMs with an unexpected request, asking if he could spend the night with Lena the Plug, Adam's wife. Now, I mean, I may be wrong, but if I remember, I think this Adam 22 guy was, at some point basically offering other men to sleep with his wives, right? Or with his wife. Let me see. Adam 22. Okay, maybe it's this. I was scared to let Wack get his hands on my wife, but yeah, so I think that's the guy. That's the guy. But now that is all said and done, I'm not sure why I was tripping. We had a blast. Man, oh boy, man, my goodness. Anyway, so it says here, the rapper didn't beat around the bush, making it clear that he was interested in Lena alone, not the other arrangements. However, Adam 22 quickly shut down the request with "No, bro," making it clear that Choppa's offer wasn't up for discussion. So just taking a look, man, at what how the conversation went, at least a screenshot here. In actuality, right, it's not a picture of Tupac, it's NLE. And so he reaches out to this guy and says, in other words, let me commit adultery with your wife. Just me, though. Dude replies, no, bro. He says yes. Now, it honestly doesn't even matter at this point whether they were trying to do this for clout or it's a skit or whatever the case is, or even if it's legit, right? But the fact that we're now at the point where, based off of the information that's come out, it seems like this guy actually was, that was his intentions. That's what he wanted, right? Because had Adam 22 or whatever said, yeah, then it would have been a different case. But just seeing shit like this alone, it's just like it's brazen, right? It's blatant boldness in wickedness, and this is why the Lord referred to this generation, which they were the same ones back then with him, as a sinful and adulterous generation. Okay, he didn't say that just because. Why did he specifically label or use the term adulterous generation? Okay, now we know what adultery is, right? And obviously there's always been, unfortunately, for a extended period of time, spiritual adultery amongst the nation of Israel, but physical adultery just hand in hand as well. Okay, and then immediately I thought about this precept here in Jeremiah 5. So when you read the scriptures and you come across those accounts, and the Lord is speaking through a prophet, right? He's listing the atrocities and the wickedness that Israel has done. and you hear about them murdering and committing adultery and these pretty wild things that they've been doing. It's not, the Lord is not just saying it, just to say it. He's not just like one or two people do it and he lumps it in and just throws it in there because he likes to mention adultery. These were actual things that they were doing. Okay, when it talks about them passing their children through the fire, you had people who gave birth to children and actual babies, they burnt them in fire while the babies were alive and screaming as a sacrifice to an idol. An idol that doesn't even, it's not, it's just an idol made of stone or silver or gold or whatever. They actually were doing these things on a common level, from rulers down to the base individual. And this is why the Lord brought the judgments he brought upon Israel in the past. And this is why he's going to bring the time of Jacob's trouble in now. Because for somebody for you to go into another man's messages and tell him, let me commit adultery with your wife. And then he says no, his dumbass laughing about it. And then your dumbass goes and replies, yes. I mean, what? But this is, and these are Israelites. Like this guy in Elite Chopper, obviously he's Jake, he's an Israelite, he's not a heathen. But look at the shit. When do you ever see a Chinese screenshot of Chinese individual sliding into another Chinese individual's DM saying some stupid shit like this? Anyway, this is Jeremiah 5:1. Run ye to and fro through the streets of Jerusalem, and see now and know, and seek in the broad places thereof, if ye can find a man, if there be any that executeth judgment, that seeketh the truth, and I will pardon it. And though they say, the Lord Yahweh liveth, surely they swear falsely, because in their hearts they don't honor the ways of the Lord. It's beyond apparent. It's beyond blatant. The world is just, this is like Genesis, the 6th chapter on steroids. All right, from the alternative lifestyle TGs appearing in, like, I don't know if it's like a court hearing or whatever it was. There's a video of that, and they're out here, pretty much borderline threatening, saying, "Look, if you ain't gonna make it a safe space for us, then we gonna make sure it's unsafe for you." I mean, the whole everything, the whole earth is out of course, as the scriptures say, completely. From the air you breathe, the food you eat, the people you interact with, even the animals, everything is out of course. Okay? It's completely done through. Verse 3, O Lord, are not thine eyes upon the truth? Thou hast stricken them, but they have not grieved. Thou hast consumed them, but they have refused to receive correction. Yeah. So if you're punishing them, right, striking them, you're punishing them, and they're not grieving, they're not getting the message. Right? It says you've consumed them, but they refuse to receive correction. And the scriptures tell you, right, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of men, right, is fully set within them to do evil, roughly paraphrasing. That's why you can have somebody go ahead and say something like this, just outright. It says here, they have made their faces harder than a rock. They have refused to return. And you got people that get mad at us. They get mad at us because we're speaking against these things. So we're supposed to just, sit back and say, yeah, go ahead. It's perfectly fine. It's okay. And the thing is, like, this is something the Lord explicitly said. It's stated through and through. Do not commit adultery. All right. And Jake goes and literally said, "No, I'm gonna commit adultery. Matter of fact, let me ask this guy if I can get with his wife, and double down on it." Yeah, that is so crazy, man. You can imagine, right? You can imagine just the prophets back in the day. Back there, Israel. I mean, there was wickedness going on, but you probably would have never imagined that you'd see the day where Israelites would be in the condition they're in today. Verse 5, I will get me onto the verse 4, therefore I said, surely these are poor, they are foolish, for they know not the way of the Lord Yahweh, nor the judgment of their God. Exactly. And that's why they move and behave the way they do. They don't know the judgment of their God, but they'll find out. They'll find out very, very soon. I will get me unto the great men, and I will speak unto them. For they have known the way of the Lord Yahweh, and the judgment of their God. But these have altogether broken the yoke and burst the bonds. Wherefore a lion out of the forest shall slay them, which is judgment, and a wolf of the evenings shall spoil them. A leopard shall watch over their cities. Every one that goeth out thence shall be torn in pieces, because their transgressions are many and their backslidings are increased, because they're not getting judged on the spot. So what you confuse for nothing happening is really just pending. You commit iniquity, your judgment is pending. And people of this world think, oh, there is no judgment at all. No, it's just pending. It's like when the FBI freaking amasses so many different counts and cases on your ass, and they just don't pull up to you, and you think, oh, you're good. And then the one day they do, you're like, what the hell? Like, where did this come from? Verse 7, how shall I pardon thee for this? Thy children have forsaken me, and sworn by them that are no gods. When I had fed them to the full, then they then committed adultery, and assembled themselves by troops in the harlots' houses. They were as fed horses in the morning, everyone neighing after his neighbor's wife. When a horse neighs, that's when it does that, like that sound that horses are known for doing, right? As after his neighbor's wife. So, you know, you can see the validity in the scriptures. You know, the scriptures are not a reach, and they describe very accurately these people to a T. It's crazy as hell, man. But that's why the Lord got to bring judgment upon this place. Yeah, it says to neigh of men as stallions. And you can look up here, right? Why do horses neigh? Horses neigh primarily to communicate with other horses, often as a way to call out to locate them when they can't see them, essentially saying, where is everyone? It is considered a social call used to attract attention and maintain herd contact, especially when feeling separated or lonely. A neigh can also indicate excitement, anxiety, or a greeting depending on the context and tone of the sound. So guess what? If a horse, if they're neighing after their neighbor's wife, you pretty much get the message as to what's going on there, right? This is Mark chapter 8, verse 38. It says, whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation. Look, if you are ashamed of proclaiming the words of the Lord in this generation, as if like if you care that much about the opinions of people in this generation, then truly, as the Lord said, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he cometh in the glory of his Father with the holy angels. Because then you're not worthy to be, honored of the Lord. Because we're among sinners. I mean, we're not perfect, right? But we're making an effort. These people are just straight deliberately doing this stuff, right? And they've basically made themselves enemies of the Lord. And if you care so much about what they think that you're ashamed to proclaim the words of the Lord or stand up for what's right, then, as the Lord said, then, he's basically going to reject you as well. Lastly, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 9. It says, behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger. At the end of the day, it's just this simple, right? The Lord said, don't do it. You knew the Lord said, don't do it. Maybe you forgot. Well, we came and reminded you. When we reminded you, cursed us out. Told us we could kick rocks and go down the road somewhere so that you can, now you know and you're aware of what you shouldn't do. And yet you go and do it blatantly and continually. I mean, the thought of, hey, I shouldn't do this doesn't even cross their minds anymore. It's just, whatever. Do whatever hell I want to do. So the Lord has warned you saying, if you do this, this is what's going to happen to you. And not only did you do it, you didn't do it out of ignorance. You're doing it blatantly, and you're joyously doing it. Like you have Israelites that are committing grievous sins out of desire. They want to do that. So why shouldn't the day of the Lord be cruel? Why shouldn't it come with wrath and fierce anger? Why shouldn't he be angry? To lay the land desolate, and that land is going to be Babylon in particular. Because when you read up above, this vision is mainly concerning Babylon, aka America. And he shall destroy the what? The sinners thereof out of it. So guess what? You're definitely not off the hook. And the scriptures say it's a marvel if a sinner escaped. So just because the Lord is long suffering doesn't mean that you're gonna go ahead and commit all this iniquity, blatantly disrespect the Lord in all manner, shapes, ways, and forms. Israelites that know the Israelites, Israelites that don't know the Israelites, just everybody doing whatever they want to do on the Lord's earth, right? Like it's a free for all. You got another thing coming. So anyway, I'm gonna end it here. Just wanted to say a few words on that. Some more flood behavior, as the elder Yashwan puts it. But this is why we need the Lord to shorten these days, and come and set things straight. Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Recha Kodesh. Until next time, Shalom.